welcome back to the show. While I was down here jacking around, I guess, I don't know what point in time or while I was actually making the video or before I started the video, they already shipped stuff to me from AliExpress. Now we got two things here. We got a Huck shirt. I don't know if it's a knockoff or not. And then this jewel. So they consolidated the items. I guess that's what you call it. I'm going to unconsolidate the items. Let's just start with the big sexy, right? Wow. Oh boy, wait for it. Ta-da. I've tried to get, we have the Gomex right there. Silver one matches up awesome. I love it with the Zillions. Guess what? Typical AliExpress. The color, I can't, that color is not even listed there anymore. And then while it was listed there, this color wasn't listed. Like it was there crossed out, like you couldn't get it. And then all of a sudden it pops up now. And this one has a crazy amount of green, which I don't know if I like that or not. I wish it had more of a blue, which there's some blue there. And it could be once you get it out in daylight, if you guys know anything about these. So I think I'm going to put it on this one, and we'll try it with whether it be purple, blue, right? So I'm just going to try it. I don't know if I like that color or not, I'll be honest. The old Abu Garcia, the Aurora reels, if you guys remember those, they had that awesome blue tint. The cheaper ones, the darker one, if you guys remember, oh shoot, what's the name of it? I can't think of the name of it now. The GH100 kind of copy was a Phantom. The Phantom reel definitely had a cheaper tint of this. This way it looks good. That's like gold and purple with a little bit of blue and green. For me anyway, in my lighting, that has a lot of green. Although, it could be good on this. I don't know. I'll put it on a couple. I could actually put it right on that. No, I ain't gonna put it on that one right now. I could put it on this one real quick just to see what it looked like. This is probably gonna get blue line. This reel will probably go back with, and I may try this on it. I was hoping it had a more blue and gold look to it. Probably gonna get blue line back on it, that 15-pound Hercules braid with that little camo blue knob, because I just like that better on this rod. So believe it or not, as I'm gonna open up this, and these are $15 by the way, Gomex, or whatever that name was. Gomexes. You can look those up. I think I like these better than I do these. I like these, don't get me wrong, these are awesome too, but they're roughly about the same price. These have a little bit more professional, I don't know, they just look a little better overall. Here's the one I want to get. I don't even think, does this one have the name on it? Yeah, this one doesn't even have the name on it. But I like this one. I'll try to hold it still long enough so you guys can see it. It looks good, and it goes real good with the Zillion. I like that one. I may try that because I have this capabilities to put it on the either Dark Wolf Ultra or that one that's coming in with the pink and the whatever. That may look good on there. That's why I just ordered one. I want to see. And it showed they had quite a few of them. Oh yeah, it says Gomex right there. Gomexes. Well, maybe. Yeah, so right there. But this one is not the same pattern, if you guys can see what I'm looking at. Like, see how that has the cutouts right there? This one does not have that. So I like them with that cutout, just kind of gives it an even more, I don't even know what you would call it. Anyway, got that one. Tried on a few different reels. Hopefully it'll stick to one. Worst case scenario, I de-anodize it, polish it up. It'll look like that. That's worst case. Worst case scenario. So let's see what this shirt looks like. Now, no, I'm not going to put it on. We're just going to get it out and look at it. These were only $13. You guys have seen me in the videos in the blue one. Is that the right size? I think that wear extra large. You can't get, like, I have a, oh, this one's made out of different material. I don't know. Just feels different anyway. I'm gonna keep that Ziploc baggie. Use it for my baits. So here, Huck Performance Fishing. I do not think this, I think this is a true knockoff, 100%, because it should say Huck somewhere on that. It just says cycling. They're promoting for Huck, right? The free advertisement for Huck to sell a shirt with Huck written all over it. Now I know, and I thought the same thing too. Somebody's like, well, if you're getting a shirt to wear when the sun's out to keep you cool, black is the worst color to get. That's what I'm thinking, but I'm going to try it out. But I figured I'd just get a shirt that I actually like the color of for sure, 100%, and just try it. Just don't even have a tag on it. Now the other one I really like. I don't think they came from the same store. But I'm going to try this one out and just see what I think. If anything, it'll just be one of them shirts to throw around. It was 13 bucks. I'll throw it on over, when not really chilly, but I just don't want, most of my shirts that don't have long sleeves have no sleeves. So sometimes it's a good just to have something to throw on. Or it's kind of like, I don't know, these shirts are hard to explain. Even the, like that blue one I just got, and that previous one I had was a real tree. I've only had a few. Because I'm like the old school, the Columbia shirts that had the cutouts in the back, but the material itself wasn't made as good as this stuff is, as far as, it kind of lets you breathe, but it keeps the sun off, but it doesn't make you hot. It's hard to explain. So I'm just going to have to try this black one. I'm sure out in the sun, that's going to feel hotter than the blue ones, or maybe too hot to wear, but we'll find out. And you guys remember, right, I got that line, it came in and it's crazy. I'm trying to see if I want to like that or not, because what I'll probably do is I'm probably going to swap lines with these reels. I'm going to try this line on one of my good setups that I've tried my line on, and then compare this, because Charles says this is 15-pound test. And it came from AliExpress. Now I've seen this roughly this. I cannot get that line. Oh my goodness. But Charles told me this was 15 pound. And it definitely, he has enough on here to, I could switch. I'm going to switch them out because I think actually this color, that will go real good on this reel. And I'll put it back on for now on the DMX rod, or I'll put this on that bigger DMX rod I got coming. I do have that bigger one coming that's considered a medium, but at specs it's like 7 foot, more like a medium. I think it's going to be more like a medium heavy, or a true medium. We'll find out. But I may put this reel on that with some of that line and just get a seed. So anyway, I'm back out of here again. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. And oh, here's another heads up. You guys will be amazed in what I can learn in the short time from when I stopped the last video to when I came back here. Made the trade with Bonsai Guy. He's getting the Tatula and the Corrado, which is what I had it rigged up. Awesome, kind of the all around. I work for drop shot, Ned rigs, everything, right? Just a finesse setup. You guys have heard me talk like highly about the Tatula rod. Anyway, I made a deal with Bonsai Guy. He's giving me, I'm not telling you how much, but basically some money and the Big Sexy Lake Fork Guy Big Sexy rod for that combo. Now somebody's probably going, well, you can't even get the Big Sexy anymore, Charlie, the Lake Fork Guy, so why are you getting that even though you can't get the Tatula anymore? Well, I got news for you. You can still, I think right now at this moment, I don't know how many are left, you can go to Carl's. They've got the Lake Fork Guy Big Sexy clearanced out right now at 160 bucks if you guys are interested in that rod. I want to say they're $229 originally. It's a 7'2", medium heavy. It's roughly the specs of this rod, but it's 7'2". The thing is, the reason I want to trade back with the Bonsai Guy, I want to say the handle length is like 17 inches, I think. So it's way longer than this. I shortened it up. I want to say 4 or 5 inches. I got it under 7 foot. I can't remember exactly how far, and I balanced it. So I'm getting it back from Bonsai Guy. And I'm going to put it up against this rod also. So anyway, you'll be looking forward to that. And if you're interested in that, the actual one from the Lake Fork guy, because the difference in the Big Sexy and the Lake Fork guy one was mainly the red reel seat, a couple little other cosmetic things, but I think they're supposed to be on the same blank roughly. So I want to say they still make and are selling the Big Sexy rods as far as for like jig rods, that kind of thing. So anyway, there you go. See all that stuff I learned? The heaviest jig I throw? Well, that depends. You mean that I carry around sometimes in my box, or I physically actually get it out, put it on a rod and reel, and cast it? I would say probably I don't like to go over a half ounce with anything unless it's top water. So I think, I don't know if I've ever, I mean, I got that crazy ounce and a quarter jackhammer right now. And that's another thing. I don't know if I've even talked about in video. That Bass Pro Shops rod, 6'9", medium heavy, throws that ounce and a quarter like nobody's business. Like I feel I can rear back and just cast it. I don't really cast as hard as I can because I cast pretty hard, and it takes, because I only have this thing like halfway spooled, it just spools it like instant. Like it does not take much of a cast, but a pretty hard cast. That ounce and a quarter goes flying with that rod. So I don't know. I've always said that. Like, I understand if you're throwing for insane distance, you know, but most of your cast, because let's say, for instance, you're fishing with 17-pound, even fluorocarbon. And if you can spool a reel, or, you know, cast that rod and spool that reel, well, what are the odds of truly hooking up with that fish at the very end of that cast? Like, your odds get limited. So you really, unless you're doing real crazy deep cranking and you know you're going to start coming back, and you're going to probably get close to, not halfway back, but you're going to get a long ways back before your chance of first, you're not really making crazy super long casts anyway. That's why I kind of just end up, even though a reel may beat another reel out here cast testing them or out in the field testing them, sometimes it's just that what's the easiest, what palms the best, what works the best. And as I get out of here, I will tell you real quick, with this thing, this was what I've been throwing, and then when I was throwing, I think the, oh shoot, that broken necked one, you know, you're probably talking a half ounce worth of bait, counting the plastics, maybe a little over a half ounce, but the true head of the bait is probably only like quarter, so somewhere around a quarter to 3/8, up to like a half ounce. And I usually have better luck with the lighter baits. I feel like you can get them down. They don't get dredged in as much or caught up in the grass, or you just think there's nothing out there. Then you throw something too heavy and then you come up with gunk like every time you cast. So it seems like sometimes these lighter baits, you let some of the bulk of the, if you want to bulk up, put on a little bit bulkier trailer. It'll, as it gets down there, it's not that it's going to get, it's not going to suspend, but like weight in plastic over lead will kind of let you have a floating type sensation coming across bottom and stuff like that, rather than throwing a big 1 ounce bait. You know, unless you're like flipping, punching, you like more straight up and down, you know, basically vertical jigging, I think is okay. I think that's why I think the Carolina rig's popular if you're casting long cast, heavier weight with the Carolina rig. So your bait is out here, your actual weight is down here, gunked up in whatever, who knows what it could be, and stuff like that. So for me, in the waters I fish anyway, I definitely, you would probably not see me. I'm not saying, well, I guess I can't say that. I can say that and I can't say that. You will probably not see me fishing much over, you know, quarter to 3/8 ounce and some half ounce. I think I own a few half ounces. I had more, and I think I sold those off for like $1 each to Charles because I hardly ever used them. I was always down here with this, which I call big stuff. It's finesse regular stuff, but in BFS, that's huge. That is a huge honking weight. That's power BFS. You know, when you take a finesse jig with that ball head on it. So anyway, what was I going to talk about? You guys got me distracted talking about jigs. What was it? Oh, I'd been watching Seth Feider videos for whatever reason, just kind of see what his mindset is on certain stuff. And I noticed, because, and what brought me to that was same thing where I got the shower blows knock off and I started tying the Alberto knot for the line braid to leader material. Just watching these different videos, I'm like, oh, I'll try that. Oh, I'll try this. Well, Seth Fighter, I was looking at his what he uses for a chatterbait setup, and he almost is an exact mimic copy of what Brett Height uses. But then if you go watch on his jig rods, he goes down. He just regular, now not punching, but flipping, pitching kind of stuff. He's in the 7 foot medium heavy, which the 6'9" medium heavy, it's right there close, right? But and then like I think 7'9" or 7'6" or 7'9", I think heavy was one like true punching and stuff like that. But he talks about, which he may be starting to get older too. Sometimes in longer rods, he's finding out you just end up with your elbow sore at the end of the day if you do get on a good, flipping or pitching bite. And I'll tell you right now, I'm 50 years old. I figured that out over 10 years ago easily. I'm like, if I don't have to have that crazy long 7'4", all that stuff, them shorter rods, I feel I definitely have more leverage with the shorter rod. Now you can work line, you can move more line with less movement, but you can't move that line with as much power. The longer you go, you're giving up a little power for the movement of if that makes sense. So I don't know, I feel like a lot of, even the pros are wording it wrong on how they're trying to explain something. Because I think a lot of guys go out there and you just look at this little, they're typically skinnier, and you're looking at this little 7 foot, which to me is kind of long, but you look at this little 7 foot rod and it's kind of skinny, and even though it may be medium heavy, and then you look at that 7'6" medium heavy, and it's usually big, thicker down at the butt. It just looks like more powerful rod. Problem is, power basically comes with, your two hands. And so when you're holding a rod, here's the leverage you can put on a rod. So technically longer. This can give you more, leverage. The longer that way goes, you're giving leverage to whatever's pulling on the other end, whether it be a fish, a person, you could do the own test you want to do or whatever. Now, when it comes to setting a hook, I guess there could be an argument made either way for say go to the extremes, go down to a 5'6" rod, because that's what a lot of the old pistol grip casting rods were, 5'6" to a 8-foot rod. Which one delivers more power, force generated into that hook as it's going into the fish's mouth? Like, you definitely can move like more line when you make a same sweeping motion. And you definitely, if you're not putting this butt into your body or like doing like this kind of thing, you're taking away the leverage aspect of it by having a longer deal down here. But so, I don't know. I'll put it to you this way. Whatever this is right here, that length is almost I wish it was just a touch shorter, but I'm not going to mess with trying to shorten it or anything, because it's almost perfect, just kind of like this rod is. I don't know. Are these about the same? No, this is shorter. So there's the one I made. And see how that's a little bit longer? It's actually fine. And I know somebody's probably already said it. Well, that's the reason why this one has better hookups, because you got just that little bit more, I guess I would call that leverage on that little bit longer butt to pull it in, right? And you could be right. If anything, that would give you a little more leverage rather than having another 6 inches sticking out the other end. So anyway, got a lot of stuff coming. Trade going. I got a message Bones I got. That's he just asked me about what's a good time to meet up, get this going to a new home. I'm just going to leave it. He wanted this. It's going to come with the stock handle, but he wanted this handle also. And this one, don't 100% hold me to it, Bones Guy, but I'm pretty sure this one is an actual handle made for the Shimano. It doesn't have the adapter in it. So there's one little less piece in there to have to worry about. I'm pretty sure that's the one with the... And these handles I had to spend like 12 or 13 bucks just for the handle assembly. Came with them foam, which comes with, where are they at? It came with two of these on each side, like $13.99 for that 80 millimeter. That's 80 millimeter carbon fiber handle. Then I bought these for like $5 to $7. I think I got them as cheap as $5. So then I put one of those on. So technically that's almost like a $18 in order to, if you wanted to try to copy that. But I basically told him, I was like, well, you throw an extra $10 and I'll leave that handle on it, and he'll get the stock one too. So anyway, he wanted that. He's going to go the single lifestyle. It does look cool. What do you guys think? Got that gold, kind of golds with that. And then I don't have the Tula rod over here right at the moment, but the Tula does have a crazy dark gold right there. They match up the colors on the reel seat, everything. It does match up very well. You got a Shimano and a Daiwa that match up very well. And I want to say I just used, I think you'll see me maybe in a few fish catches in a video, but they're going bye-bye. Hasta la vista. We got the Shimano Aldebaran 22. I'm not in a big hurry to sell it. I would take whatever you can get them for on Digitaka. If you wanted to buy one, get it to you faster than, well, maybe not faster than what, Digitaka's not too slow. But I will be selling that one. I just don't know when. I'll still use it. When those other reels come in, it'll probably go, it'll either stay on the Feeling or it'll go on the Tula. Not sure which one. Yep, the OG Tula is gone bye-bye. Oh well. It's just a rod. I'll buy another one. I will probably look for now, because I'll have the big Sexy. I'm going to probably go looking for, like I said, I'll probably get a medium light version of this. I'm still up in there on a 6'6" or 7 foot. Part of me is trying to talk myself into start fishing 7-foot rods, because that's what a lot of people fish. I think a lot of people are going, because 6'6" is, for regular bass, 6'6" is right there on the verge. For BFS, I like that length and even shorter. I like 6 foot, and then ultralight, I actually like 5'6" or shorter. And I'm kind of still working on that, but 6'6" is kind of short for regular bass gear. It's doable. It's very, capable stuff. But I'll be honest, for a lot of years I've been that 6'7" to 10. I've been in between the 6'6", 7 foot feels too long. It still feels too long to me. And you can ask Charles. He just got that carbon. Oh shoot, I can't even think of the name of your rod now, Charles. But he got that. New rod he just got from Cash On. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. It's a Cash On, but I can't remember the series that he got. He got a 7-footer, and he's kind of like, he may have wished he waited for the 6'6", but I think once you get used to the 7 foot, and I think if that's all you fished, but I think a lot of guys that went up there are coming back down. I know the tournament pros and tournament guys, I don't know where they're going to end up, but I think your average fisherman. And I've seen a lot of different YouTube videos where a guy's talking about, like, he likes all of his rods 7 foot because they all give him the same feeling. And I feel kind of like that also. I feel if I'm in that 6'7" to 6'10", they all have a similar type, and you get the ones with the similar actions, unless you need one with that super extra fast tip, or you need a real crazy moderate, almost a full flex like the old fly rods. Because I'll be honest, my favorite fly rods ever were what they called full flex. You get a fly rod with too much of a faster tip. I just don't like that feel back when I was in my fly rod fishing. That's why I like the old fiberglass fly rods were the best. I think Cabela's may still sell. I don't know. They had there for a while. They had like an orangish colored one. It was pretty reasonably priced and it was an awesome little fly rod. But I had a Diamondback black rod that I believe was all. It was only like a 6'6" or a 7 foot fly rod. Was it 2-weight, 3-weight? Man, that was an awesome fly rod. It was expensive, but man, that was awesome fly rod. My favorite fly rod was a G Loomis, and I've told you this story before. I'm gonna tell it one more time, and then until I tell it again. I had an 8 foot 8-weight GL2, I want to think, but it was an all black Loomis rod, fly rod. That rod was awesome. Throw them big, deer hair poppers and stuff. Man, that rod was just awesome. It broke. I don't even remember now how it broke. And Loomis stuck by their word. I sent it in, or I either sent pictures or sent it in. I can't remember which one I went. But they sent me the brand new closest, price wise that come to that. But it was like this green looking rod, some new different material. I did not like that fly rod. I sold it. It was nothing like that old one. And I wish they would, whether it be Loomis or whether Gary Loomis himself, and maybe maybe somebody could copy on his edge rods or whatever. Maybe he does have that same blank type material, but I wish they would come back with that older set. I like those rods, the few that I handled and held, and even the reel seat on the, if you guys remember, it had that humped up little bit of a reel seat. Like those are still, like those rods still sell for pretty good money. I would have rather bought some of those than, nothing's wrong with the NRX, few rods I have. Out of those, if you guys are wondering, I sold those to Jeremy, and I'm going to give you a last little heads up on that, and then I'm out of here. The only one of those that I do sort of miss, I had two of them, the 802. They were, as I'm getting rid of the Tatula rod, they were just as awesome for a shaky head as that Tatula. Now, the Tatula was a $129 probably rod new. I got a deal on that one. So for a $500 rod and a $120, $129 rod, but I'm telling you that I do kind of miss that, because if you guys remember, right when I first got on the sprayed grass, I think I started Purple Haze sprayed grass. I don't even remember now which color I really got on first, and then the other color I found was like, if they didn't want one, they wanted the other. Like both those colors were awesome. And I kind of would have one on the Tatula and one on that NRX rod. Man, those were like, that was an awesome, throwing either one. Very good rod for that. Horrible rods for the 803. I tried to use for like an all-purpose type rod, chatterbaits, spinner baits, jig, bigger jig stuff. Oh no, it's just like they said. Worm and jig or whatever, JW, that is all those are. That they have that super fast and then jumps in the backbone. Something about that, it just puts them in a category where they need to stay. And the Tatula is kind of like that too. It's a very good bottom bouncing rod. You start trying to use it for spinner baits. I lost that real big fish with the Tatula, with the spinner bait. But that's what they're kind of made for. That's why I'm really getting away from all of that kind of stuff. I like the more, like if you heard the Tactical Bassin, Matt Allen keeps talking about that MBR. I think, I've never fished an MBR. I've felt them and stuff. I'm thinking that if I ever do get back into any kind of Loomis or come across a deal and use one, it'd have to be an MBR. I don't want a jig worm rod, pretty much, if I can stay away from it. So anyway, I'm out of here. Once again, I'm gone. Oh yeah, somebody commented, I didn't know you were into fly fishing before. Oh yeah. Dude, if you guys can tell, I kind of, when I go into something, I'm in. I may have this, sell this, to get, like I've commented, I'm not a collector. You won't see my collection of old stuff because I get rid of it. I was into fly fishing big time. Now, not the high-end stuff, the good stuff, some high-end stuff. I never bought an old Hardy reel, but man, I looked at several of them. I had a few deals going, never could get on the perfect. But then the one I liked was a little 3-inch St. George. Oh man. And the ones that actually had the brake, I think it was something a dealer did. Like they didn't come with a brake mechanism made on, but a dealer was cutting out a little slot and building this little thing where you could. It's kind of like just a deal that drug when you put pressure on it instead of your hand hitting it. Where you could burn yourself or whatever. You push the outer part of the edge, and there's pictures floating around on a lot of them different forums and stuff. But man, the old Hardy fly reel and that sound that clicker makes. That's why I like these drag clickers so much. But you could, at the time, you maybe still be able to do it. You go to eBay and find a lot of them old fly reels. But if you guys know fly fishing, the reels on those are really there just to hold the line. Like most of your stuff is done with just pull the line out, and then you set and go. It takes a lot of fish to get that line back up into that reel to where you would even use any of that. But man, it was cool to have. So in the process of checking out all those old reels, coming across some of the old Orvis, and even, was it Mitchell it was kind of a poor man's Orvis or Hardy. That I want to say it was a Mitchell. There's some awesome fly, and Pfluger had a few good ones too. But I'd get some of these old reels, so I'm like, I need an old rod to go with it. So I got into some of the cheaper bamboo fly rods. And I really found out then I definitely don't like 9-foot bamboo fly rods. You want to talk about tip heavy. So then my favorite all-time fly rod and reel combo was Reddington fly rod. I can't remember the name of it. I don't remember what series. I remember the color. It was like a red, kind of a reddish maroon with gold wraps and gold eyes, guides. And it, I don't remember the name of it. It was a Reddington, and then I want to say the reel, was it a Reddington too? There was old gold reels they had out, like the 3 weights, the one I liked, because you could actually, I think I upped it. You could get a 5 weight on it, but it was originally like a 3 or 3/4 weight. But there's a real, and they're real thick and heavy, and that's why I liked it, because I had it on I want to say that Reddington was a 8-foot, 7 or 8-foot fly rod. And then that 3 weight was small but heavy, like a bulky little gold reel, and it balanced. And with the gold guides and stuff, it matched perfectly. And that was my favorite combo. And right up here at Rainbow Fly Shops, where Matt up there, I went and we swapped back and forth several times. That's the one, if there was one fly rod, even as much as I like the Diamondback, which it was awesome, and a couple of the older ones I had. And there's pictures floating around. I've got of some of them here and there, but that old Reddington with and those rod and reels, that's probably like late 90s, maybe. I'm thinking mid to late 90s. I don't think it was into maybe early 2000s is when those were made. That was just awesome because it had a drag, like it had you could adjust a drag, and I believe they clicked coming out. Yeah, and it was just, that was a cool setup. The closest thing, and then if you go back and you will see also, well, probably not on I think I had gotten rid of all that when I started Bass and Bonsai. There's several pics floating around on my Facebook. Then I got into the Shimano, those Calcutta Conquests were gold, right? So I had the 50, the 50S, and some of those kind of, because they reminded me of the old Reddington stuff. But anyway, yeah. Fly fishing, let me put it to you this way, though. You can get a good BFS setup and not wear yourself out and cast crazy small stuff and tear up some little fish, big fish, whatever. Fly fishing for bass will wear you out because there is a lot of casting, back casting, involved, especially if you try to get anywhere deep, like a little deer hair trying to imitate a worm or whatever. Those things get wet. I don't know how many times I'm not the greatest at fly fishing. I whacked myself in the head I don't know how many times with different little big flies. And I tied my own flies there for a little while. I was not that great at it. I could do the little grasshopper. I can't think of the names of any of these flies now, but basically the deer hair. I bought some deer hair and I tried to make my own poppers, and I could make those. They worked fine. They caught fish. They looked horrible, but it doesn't have to look that neat to catch you some bass on flies. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Get out, go Bass and Bonsai. I think, is Rainbow Fly Shop still open? I haven't been up there in years. Oh, you got a flyweight Hardy? Yeah, the Hardy reels. Are they Hardy still making reels? I know they did for years. I guess they're would still be in business. But they make feather flyweights. They make an Angel or something. I don't know. There's a bunch, and now there's a lot of awesome fly reels. Fly reels probably have the most cool look and feature into them, especially for something that you really don't even need on a fly rod to catch fish, because there's that Tenkara or something Charles keeps talking about, which I'm pretty sure it's just basically a fly rod just with the line tied on the end kind of thing. That's the new, minimalistic way of doing stuff. But if I got back into fly fishing, I'm getting a cool looking fly reel, even if it's a couple $100, and even if I know it's just going to hold my line while I'm out fly fishing. Because that's the cool part about it, right? Just cool factor. Exactly. All right, we'll see you guys later. Yeah, and that's what yeah, Matthew was commenting about. At least I know how. Yeah, that's basically that's what Charles was like. Well, you got a old vise laying around or something, right, to tie on deals? Like, Charles, I don't even need a vise. I just use my hand. I just hold it. Like, and if you watch some of these old fly tires, they could do that. They could just sit and hold. Like, they don't even use a vise. So certain people can. Now, I'm not that good at it, but tying like tinsel or whatever on a hook, like it doesn't take, it's not rocket science. Basically, you wrap your thread around. You can tie a knot then if you want or whatever. You know, get a base to where the glue's going to hold on to that, and then you just put however many strands on or whatever direction you want. You know, and kind of feed that in there and just wrap it up. Tie a what half hitch or what, I don't know, whatever knots they tie. It doesn't really take much of a knot. And I had my, I don't know where my hackle stuff is, but that right there, I got at Cabela's, that pearl flashing with a little bit of white feathers. That's all you need. But I don't know what I did with my feathers. You definitely want the real skinny, pointy, like rooster, the ones that come around the rooster's neck. That's the kind of feathers you want. Just one on each side, just like a little kicking legs, one on each side a little bit, and that's up to you how much you want to put. The trick is put a good wrap on first and use good glue, and so it'll stick, and you know you won't wear it out as fast. But yeah, I'm out of here, guys. I will see you all later. Get out, and I don't know if I like you guys. Comment if you actually. I don't know. I'm gonna try to make myself like that. I think in this lighting, I mean, it's pretty lit up in here, but it's not. It's not daylight outside. Like when you go outside, that'll look different. So I'm hoping it blues up. I'm hoping it gets more of a blue. Like right under there, that looks so blue. I don't know if you guys. That looks crazy blue, and that looks crazy green. A little blue in here. I wanted more of a blue, not even so much purple, but that gold. That gold looks good too. I don't know. I may make myself like it. Put it on. Check it out with blue line. It may be good on here, or I'll put it on one of the others. Yeah, as I get out of here, I've thought about doing that, trying to get like, because a lot of guys do fish with, hair jigs, right? I don't know. I just don't know if I want to try to make like, because I thought about trying to make my own something that basically completely do away with soft plastic, right? Like take your jigs, chatterbaits, and make, whether you use rabbit skin or whatever, kind of make your own trailers that are more of a permanent. They're just once you tie them on, the skirt will wear out before your trailer does. I've thought about doing that. I don't know. We'll see what this winter comes to. I also thought about trying to get my own deal and ordering some rod blanks and making my own rods. That way, make them exactly to a T how I want. Problem is, I wouldn't be able to make them as good as these guys come out making just these, standard $80 rod. It'd be hard for me to, get this kind of look in. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, building your own fishing rod. That's why people that do it charge so much for it. Sava, is he? That dude has some awesome looking rods. I messaged him back and forth. I was going to get a rod. I think it was a Phoenix K2 blank. It was going to be somewhere around a medium line. I can't remember exactly, but it was either 6'8" or 9. It was going to be like $750. I was like, oh my God. No, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. It would have been nice. Yeah, the Abu Garcia Aurora, you could stick that right on it. And you can get you can get almost everything on AliExpress in roughly that color. At one time I had the handles, but I tried you can't cut them down. You can't single lifestyle them because then you take off the, what you call it. I don't know what I did with that. I had parts laying around somewhere. Oh, here it is. But I cut it off, and you can't get that back to looking like that. I was going to round it. But then I gave up once I cut it off and realized that's horrible. But you could put the whole, order the whole handle. And you can even get, now I've seen the knobs that come in that color. You could literally turn that, like the Abu Garcia Auroras, into every piece would look like that, which may look kind of gaudy. I don't know. Too much is too much, right? All right, too much Bass and Bonsai on live stream is too much, so I'm out of here. See you guys later. I'm